Alrighty, thanks for that, host. Dr. Mojo, is it worth playing Yume Nikki or similar titles? Depends on what all you're including in similar titles, I suppose. Not a definite no, and certainly not a definite yes. So, if atmosphere, like just the atmosphere and kind of like really that's it, like really the best word to describe it. If the atmosphere of a game is like the most important thing for you in a game, then Yume Nikki is probably worth checking out. Because there was some cool stuff going on with the atmosphere in the game that I enjoyed. The problem is that it just doesn't have anything else. That's the entire game, is that that little bit of atmosphere, basically. I mean, it made for some awesome little like notes, I guess, but that's kind of just trying to make some fun aspects of it, I suppose. Yeah, so I mean, that actually puts it in a fairly similar category as like Limbo for me. Limbo certainly has a little bit more game than Yume Nikki does, but I still thought the game aspect of Limbo was kind of weak, not very good. But it's like aesthetic and atmosphere of Limbo is really strong. So it's got that going for it. Yume Nikki is much the same way, but it's even more focused on atmosphere being strong and a little less focused on the aesthetic, because it doesn't really have much music to speak of, and the visuals are fairly bare bones as well. The other that you might be thinking of is Off. And Off is, again, fairly similar boat. Gameplay is garbage. The core gameplay, the RPG sort of gameplay is garbage. The puzzles are serviceable. They aren't good, but they aren't like awful. And kind of the some aspects of the story and specifically the atmosphere are interesting at times. So that's basically, I guess, where my recommendation lies. I would not recommend them in general. I don't think they're particularly great experiences, but I do think they do cool stuff with atmosphere. And if you're someone that values atmosphere specifically in your games highly, then they are both worth checking out. That's probably how I think of it. And in my opinion, there's basically not a deeper hidden story or meaning, Mojo. It's there's a lot of I guess media in general that kind of fits in this category where things are so incredibly vague that you can kind of just make up your own meaning, and that could be an interesting experience for a lot of people. But to me, I'm like, it's just a toy at that point, I guess, is how I picture it. It's like I could put these pieces together in a lot of different ways, but it's not like I'm just kind of writing my own story at that point, and like I could probably write a better story if I'm just writing a story rather than using a bunch of puzzle pieces that don't quite fit together. So I mean, this applies to a lot of stuff, like Serial Experiments Lane comes to mind even. But incidentally, that's part of what I really liked about Undertale, is that almost, not everything, but almost all of the pieces actually fit together really, really well, and there's a lot of subtle stuff that helps those pieces fit together if you look for it. But, nice ready-made killer. Greetings.